Cordy, and in the comic book Watchmen and the later films and TV series, there's a character called Hooded Justice, and that was actually stolen from one of my ideas. I was on a train with whoever wrote Watchmen, and I was writing on a napkin. I did like a little short story, and in that I was writing about a character called Hooded Justice, and whoever wrote that comic must have seen over my shoulder, and yeah, we're in a legal dispute anyway. In today's video, I wanted to quickly talk about what I think is important on the internet and all of this sort of stuff, in books and all that kind of thing. There's a lot of serious material about music, and people taking things very seriously and saying that these are the things you need to work on, and that these are the most important things. To be honest, I don't necessarily agree with all of it. So for me, the most important thing that there is to the whole thing is time. And what I mean by that is not what you think about working on solid time or that sort of thing. The most important thing is that you enjoy the time that you spend doing whatever you're doing. That applies obviously in all things in life, but specifically guitar. What I'm saying is that make sure the things that you're doing are things that you enjoy, and you'll do more of that thing. So if, for instance, we talked about Giant Steps, and there's time that I'd put into that tune that I didn't enjoy, and in a way I feel like some of that time was wasted because it was not something that I concentrated on, and because I wasn't getting enjoyment out of what I was doing, the effort and all of that stuff doesn't really pay off. You know, whereas when I was younger and there were things that I was enjoying working on, whether those be legato technique or alternate picking and, you know, playing things fast, those are things that I invested a lot of time in because I enjoyed what I was doing. Or learning, you know, Dream Theater songs or Thin Lizzy solos. It's things that I enjoyed and things that were making me want to spend time playing the instrument. The point is that there's a lot of videos that might say that there's these things you need to work on. For instance, maybe there's some people that think you should play country, but if you don't ever listen to country and you never want to play country, then to be honest, don't bother doing it. Spend time working on the stuff that makes you want to spend time on it, is I think my advice. So, you know, follow whatever your passion ends up being, and that may end with rock guitar playing, but can all name far more rock guitar players than can jazz guitar players. You may spend loads and loads and loads of time getting to be a pretty good jazz guitar player, only to find that that time probably isn't particularly fruitful in terms of money or whatever. So you better be sure that you kind of enjoy jazz guitar playing, otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time working on something that is never going to make you rich, probably. One of the things that happened when I passed the age of 30 was I started to think that probably most of the good things that would happen in my life related to music, if they were going to happen, would have already happened. You know, like if I was going to be in a successful band, chances are that would have already happened. You know, if I was going to be on a really successful song and get played all over the radio, that would have already happened. If I was ever going to become, you know, a famous guitarist, that probably would have already happened, if you know what I mean. But the point is, don't worry about that because you've still got time. And so one of the key examples here is someone like Alan Holdsworth. Although I'm not talking in terms of, you know, like successful fame, but you've got time to develop stuff. So if you listen to kind of early Alan Holdsworth, it's very different to kind of maybe what you have in your head as to what Alan Holdsworth actually became. Some of what I like and consider Alan's best stuff wasn't until he was mid-40s, so you think even if you're, you know, whatever age you're at, there's still time to develop and enjoy the instrument. And I think that's kind of the key. That's also basically what I'm trying to do on this channel. The things that you see me playing with are things that I'm enjoying and things that are fun. And that's also the reason that I largely just improvise. All of my demos are just me trying to have fun on the instrument. All of my playing and all of that stuff, and things that I like to break down, or tones that I think I can enjoy and that I'm not thinking about, oh, that doesn't sound quite right, all that stuff. That's kind of the reason that I like to put out the HX Stomp and Helix presets that you can grab for £3 for all of them, essentially. The kind of aim is to hopefully to bring you that fun that I've been able to have as well. You know, so maybe it's like the Eric Lead preset, like I really enjoy playing through that, and hopefully there's other people that enjoy that as well. And whilst you're playing with that, you're not really thinking about too much else, and you're not thinking about, oh, that doesn't sound quite right. The idea for me is that I can just plug that in and put on that preset, and I know that I'm not going to have to worry about that. I can just worry about, enjoying what I'm doing at that point in time. So whatever level you're at and stuff, I don't think it makes sense to think too carefully about, like, I always need to play in time, or I always need to be bending in tune, or I always need to be playing lines that finish in a certain way, or I need to learn any of these tunes. You don't need to do any of it. Do the stuff that you enjoy and find the things that you want to work on that actually bring some enjoyment to your life. And you'll find the things that you want to work on more than others. And there's obviously lots of different types of people. Some people are really diligent and like to work on scales on a routine basis and like to work with a metronome. Other people probably just like to play songs. I think there's probably more work for people that are able to write songs and do that sort of stuff than people that are able to just play guitar fast, if that makes sense. So enjoying your instrument is also something I think that comes out in a performance. Personally, myself, I was more of the kind of metronome person, and so on stage and stuff, anxiety creeps in and desire to kind of nail everything. That to me has always been more important than conveying any enjoyment, and consequently when you come off stage and you didn't get something quite right, as always is the case because you're a human, you can kind of be a bit of a bummer to be around, because people are saying, oh, that was great, or yeah, that was really fun and all that stuff, and you're saying, it was alright, but I messed up this and this. And frankly, no one wants to hear it, as I've learnt myself. But yeah, so if you're worried about any certain aspect of your playing that's not perfect, worry about whether you're actually enjoying what you're doing. That is what will actually lead you to do more effective things on the guitar. And this is also a thing, when people ask about, how do I get motivated to practice, or I can't find the motivation to practice, generally that's my advice, is just do more of what you're actually enjoying doing. And sometimes that might not even involve a guitar, sometimes it might not even involve music, and that's fine. It's about finding that balance so that time that you spend doing that thing, you actually enjoy, I think. Anyway, hopefully that was interesting. Sorry about the hood, sorry about the video, sorry about being in this weird space. I'm away with Leanna, and there's like this weird little loft thing, but it's quite nice. And now I want a mezzanine. We can't have a mezzanine because we have a small 2-bedroom house. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for everyone who watches me trying to have fun on the guitar. That's basically what I'm trying to do here. And if I can help you in some way with the chord melodies and stuff, I think that's like a route to some fun sometimes for some people, or the backing tracks, I think that's a route to fun. All of the tones and presets and stuff, that's kind of me trying to give you a shortcut to the fun that I'm having, essentially, is how I like to think about it, and a shortcut to enjoying time on the instrument. But hopefully this is the sort of thing that is helping to bring you a bit closer to fun on the instrument and time on the instrument. If not, then leave a comment below and tell me why I'm annoying you, or not. But yeah, if you could like and subscribe if you do like this sort of thing. As I say often, on Mondays I'm doing lick lessons. On Fridays I do breaking down some chords and stuff that inspired me. And Sundays I'm generally breaking down a jazz tune that I'm working on. And as it happens, I've sort of found some ways into enjoying giant steps, if you can believe that. So that's what Sunday's video is going to be about, if you want a sneak preview. But thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you for another video soon. Cheers. Bye.